me strength.
I will fight with honor.
I don't know what I need in this matchup, but it's probably none of those cards. Burgly Bully's probably the MVP.
Is someone injured?
Mind if I roll need?
I'm not even gonna hero power here because it lets him draw cards. I think there's a good chance I need this Auction Master Beardo combo. So I guess I'm gonna just pass again. Next turn I'll probably charge into the Northshire Cleric. Get some sick heals. Trade with both of his dudes probably. Shut down one of his draw engines. Sounds good to me. Now we can hero power. Feels good, man. I'm holding on to this coin, so I don't need to get as much out of my bullies, if that wasn't obvious. Play this guy. His effect is probably not very relevant in this matchup, but he's a 3/9, and 3/9s, well, they smack pretty hard. Oh, no play, huh? Well, I don't really feel like playing Sunkeeper Tarim and dealing 6 damage to my guy, so we'll just equip the True Silver.
The light has betrayed me.
It doesn't even kill my dudes. Get wrecked. Oh, the Burgly Bully, though. I need 2 coins, so if I play it here, I only have room for 1 coin in my hand. I wish I didn't have so much big stuff.
One for all and all for me. No. The battle.
I don't actually want to kill this turn, because I have too many cards in my hand, but we'll go ahead and put some damage on it. Should be pretty easy to True Silver whenever I want. Oh boy, he's going face already. His hero power still costs mana though, so could be worse, I guess. Oh. That's a bummer. My hand is so expensive.
For justice.
Alright, let's just develop the Death Knight.
Justice has failed.
His hero power is so good against mine though. Like, there's never gonna be a time where he can't deal with one of my 2/2s and then I sneak the game because of it. Because his hero power just does 2 damage.
At last, a worthy disciple.
Is someone injured?
Summon 2, draw 2. That's scary. Alright. I guess I'm gonna consecrate and get the bully on the board here.
The frozen throne.
No, maybe that's silly. Maybe I just play this thing instead. Yeah, that just makes more sense. We have 2 spaces in hand for coins. If we get both of them, we just win.
Purified.
Seems like it should be relatively difficult for him to deal with the bully without giving me coins. I haven't drawn that many cards, so it's not even that likely from his perspective that I would have Beardo in hand. And if he's a shitter like me, he's long since forgotten that I have this coin. Well, that's just not cool, dude. That's just not cool. Maybe he'll think that the Silenced Horseman doesn't count, but it should, right?
Dark, the shadows grow short.
Was that a good play? I guess it was. He's gonna overdraw here, isn't he? Oh, he just has probably silence. Damn, I never got my treasure. Why did I always have so many cards in my hand? Alright, let's see if we can sneak something out by making a 4/8. He played the silence already. He even played the Mass Dispel, which is in his deck for some reason. His hero power costs 2 mana. Maybe he just can't deal with this 4/8 and then we get him with a combo next turn. I don't think we can die here, since he didn't have a 0 mana hero power at the beginning of the turn. He could, in theory, hero power my guy to death, but he'd have to be able to play, what, 3 cards for under 5 mana? Which isn't that easy to do, but certainly not impossible for that deck. Is anything in my deck? Oh, equality would be bad here. Blood Mage Thalnos. Get Exodia'd, nerd.
No peace, no rest. Death was merely a setback.
Oh man.
The time has come. I return.
Never got my treasure. Feels bad.
Uther versus Malfurion. I must protect the wild. I will fight with honor.
Probably want to keep the bully. Try to Uther combo this guy.
Reporting for duty.
Use my hero power to contest his entire 1 mana card. It's pretty good, I guess. Try again with that hero power contest on the Jade Idol. One day I'll get a Silverhand Recruit to stick on the board. Not today though, because I'm equipping True Silver Champion, since it looks like my turn 5 is committed to a Burgly Bully most of the time. Yep, looks like the Burgly Bully is still the play. We actually drew Marin this game. Dope.
Your magic shall not save.
Wow, that's a bummer. I'm actually upset. Well, I don't really want to play Sunkeeper Tarim on my guy, since my guy has a lot of stats. So we'll clear out the 1/1, give Stampeding Coda the slightly better target, and then clear the 4/3 with the weapon. Stampeding Coda never gets better than a 1/2 in this, or a 2/2 in this matchup. Sometimes it hits like Spreading Plague and Malfurion things. If I go Pyro Consecration here, I leave myself with a 3/1, 2 3/1s, and a 4/4. That's really bad against Swipe, huh? I think I'm just gonna double smack here and play Sunkeeper Tarim. His dude was already a 3/3, so no big deal. We develop a 3/7, and the stats on my other two guys didn't really change all that much. Okay, there's an Ultimate Infestation in his hand 100% of the time if he's Wild Growthing on turn 7. But he didn't do anything here, so we can play Marin. This is the dream. And we can start breaking that treasure chest. We have the Desperate Stand in hand already. I'll even take the second one as a top deck here, if the game is feeling so generous. Alright, let's see what's in the box. This is the summon legendaries thing, right? See what's in the second box. Draw 3 cards, they cost 0. So do I want to Elder Peacekeeper that guy? I think I probably do. We can draw 3 0 mana cards next turn, I guess. See what we get off this. So these are all just stats, right? I guess it's best memes if we take another Marin. I don't think there was any particular synergy in my deck that would have made Cthulhu better or something. Spreading Plague, pretty expected, but just not really that big of a deal. I can actually Consecrate Pyro Consecrate here. Is that gonna be lethal? I have 24, that's 28 damage, so not lethal. It might still be good though. Clear out a lot of stuff. Alright, I'm gonna clear out this board. And I push a ton of face damage here. We leave him at like 8, I think. 10 maybe. Yeah, 8. If he has second plague, that's kind of a bummer, but he probably won't be able to make as many Jade Golems to go along with this one. I kind of hope he plagues, so I have time to play this other treasure chest card. But I also might die if he does this, so we'll see. Did not want him to have the swipe to go along with it though, if I'm being honest. 0 mana 8/8. Those were some pretty good cards. We didn't pick up any spells though, which is kind of a bummer for Beardo shenanigans. But I guess we'll live. Repentance is actually probably pretty good here. And we can just full commit to the board, because he's out of plagues, right? So we have Repentance if he somehow attempts to play like a Lich King or something. Although he'd probably just die if he played Lich King, right? So I guess that's not happening. But the Repentance might still be good. Alright. That's a pretty good target. That's probably the best realistic target in his deck. Alright, it goes up to 13. I think I just have 14 on the board. Attacking in like that killed him on board, I think, but obviously with the equality in hand, I just had him. Oh man. Hit him with the well met. Alright. We did some Marin things that game. We even got 3 Marins for maximum meme potential.
Uther versus Valyra.
Watch your back.
I will fight with honor.
I guess I probably keep an Elder Peacekeeper for Edwin. Also just a solid turn 3 play. Alright. Well, I didn't have a play, unfortunately. What is that card back he's using? It seems so bright. I wish it would stop being so bright. Just make a dude, I guess. Don't really want to spend my coin to get the Burn Bristle out right here. I'd rather just play Burn Bristle and Curve, and then maybe I coin out Burglary Bully. Wow, that's definitely a downgrade on his hero power. But he did get to play a 1-3. Not sure if that's worth it for him. Go for Rallying Blade, though. Because he can kill my Wicker Flame pretty easily if I just put it on the board here.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
He didn't make a very big Edwin. Why did I even keep my Eldor Peacekeeper? Well, I definitely don't want to use the coin here because I'm probably going to Equality Consecrate next turn. Or I would at least like to have the flexibility of doing so. Well, maybe not. If I play Bully, Bully contests a lot of his stuff. Can weapon in here. No, I probably want to be able to play Equality Consecrate next turn. We'll just Peacekeep that guy and clear out the 2-3. If that's a Cobalt Scalebane, I almost certainly have to Equality this turn. If it's not, maybe I can get away with not. 3-2 Charger is pretty scary though. Or maybe I just don't have to Equality. Maybe Consecration on its own is going to be good enough here. That seemed like a weird hit. It's like he wants me to clear his board. I mean, if he wants me to clear his board, I guess I will. It would be rude of me to decline. I think I'll hold the coin. Coining out a dude here was actually pretty reasonable, because he already has something he wants to dagger. I don't know. Maybe coining the dude is good. Okay, that's getting True Silvered. I might even go like True Silver, coin Wicker Flame. Definitely True Silvering. I think I do like coin Wicker Flame. It's kind of a bummer throwing the Divine Shield into his 1-1, but this is his Bone Mare turn. I really don't want to take 5 to the face and then be staring down 2 5/5s. Wicker Flame is pretty good to block Bone Mare here. Vile Spine Slayer on the other hand, not so much. Alright, Blackguard, I'm gonna need you to not hit the Vile Spine Slayer here. Good job, buddy. So at 8, we are dead to Leroy if it has the Kelliseth buff, which I haven't been hand tracking, so may or may not. He did have the Bone Mare. That's a bummer for sure. 1 turn off of Uther. Consecration Chillblade Champion is a clear here. And I get to keep my guy at full health. That actually seems pretty nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the play. Could have dropped my guy to 4 health and still had the 3-2 on the board. Maybe that was better, actually. I don't know, I really value having this Blackguard in play when I'm following him up with Uther of the Ebon Blade next turn. But I guess leaving it at 4, it's still pretty difficult to deal with, huh? Yeah, I probably should have sent the healing guy face. Not to mention that his healing effect is actually pretty damn good for me right now. And this play did get a little wrecked by second Vile Spine Slayer, but he had played 1 Vile Spine already, so I don't think it was super reasonable to be playing around exactly that when he still has 17 cards in his deck. But we're up to 13 all of a sudden. Did not want to see that potion, because that potion does damage.
This guy's toast.
I would probably seriously consider playing Wild Pyromancer quality here if I drew it. But other than that, just hero power plus Spike Ridge Steed seems reasonably powerful. Can kill the SI7 agent with my weapon. I'll have a 4-8 taunt that drops a 2-6. Directly contests what he'll have on the board already, and then it'll be hard for him to get through the 2-6. Auction Master Beardo is definitely not enough to change my play. Pretty cool that you can drop down to 0 with this weapon and then heal back up. We've seen both Vile Spines and one Bone Mare. I think second Bone Mare is the card I'm most afraid of here. Probably the second scariest card. Might even have to play Equality to deal with that. Interesting to choose to backstab there. It does prevent me from trading into the Murloc and then playing Equality. I could play Equality, trade into his board, heal up to 6, and then make another 4/8 taunt. Could also just not play Equality, make another 4/8 taunt, or maybe a 4/10 taunt with a 2/2 hidden behind it. I want to deal with the Scalebane though, and Equality is the only way to do that. I think I'm just going to play Equality here. I heal up to 6, so I get a giant taunt. I think that's reasonably powerful. It is kind of unfortunate that his hero power keeps him in supply of Bone Mare targets, but we only have one more Bone Mare to deal with. That's a good defensive card. I'm gonna get my 4 face damage. I do leave him with the Bone Mare target like this, but like I said, his hero power just always gives him a Bone Mare target. I would have traded into that if he didn't have easy access to more minions. Nice. So that's the end of Marin the Fox Control Paladin. And it turns out Marin the Fox is actually a pretty reasonable card. All of the rewards you get from it are pretty good. In a control deck like this, you often have time to play Marin the Fox. And when you're playing Kodos and Equalities and stuff, the treasure chest is actually pretty easy to kill. And an 8 mana 6/6 is obviously not great stats, but it's not so understated that it's unplayable. I have my doubts that Marin the Fox will ever be the optimal choice for your control deck, but as a card it actually seemed reasonably good. I was impressed. But one issue with it in a deck like this is you only have so much room for these big greedy cards. And in this list that I've been playing, I have, 9 cards over 5 mana? That's probably too many. As much as I like Blackguard, it's probably just a little bit too greedy. So if I was going to play more with the deck, I would probably end up cutting the Blackguards. And then once you cut Blackguard, the Chillblade Champions are a lot less valuable. Maybe you can even cut Rag Lightlord if you feel the deck is still too greedy after that. But I would definitely cut the Blackguards and the Chillblade Champions if I was going to play some more. Probably want to get like another Hydrologist in here. Maybe like a couple Acolytes of Pain or Stonehill Defenders would also be pretty reasonable to put in the deck. Maybe something like this makes a little bit more sense. I did learn that the Hydrologist is pretty much necessary for completing a Beardo combo, because you only need 2 coins out of your bullies for that to work. If you don't have the secret from Hydrologist, you need 3 coins, and getting 3 coins out of this is a bit of a stretch. And since so many of your matchups depend on finding your Burgly Bullies and Beardos and Uther, I feel like having some amount of card draw in the deck is probably pretty good, so I think I like Acolyte of Pain. Also has some synergy with Wild Pyromancer. It's even got some synergy with the Desperate Stands I was playing. I didn't get to Desperate Stand the Marin treasure very often, but when I did it was pretty good. And sometimes you can Desperate Stand a Tyrion, sometimes you can even Desperate Stand one of the 2/2s from Uther, and then if they can't remove that, it makes it easier for you to kill them. Maybe you could even put like a Righteous Protector or 2 in the deck. It's a pretty good early game minion, and this deck doesn't have much early game, and it does work pretty well with Desperate Stand. It's super annoying to get through. At this point though, you're pretty much just playing a normal control Paladin with 2 Desperate Stands and a Marin the Fox, but I think that's actually a pretty reasonable thing to do. I didn't get to Kodo my treasure very often, but Kodo's just a pretty good card on his own, so I think he's reasonable too. I didn't keep very good stats with this deck. I think I probably won a little bit less than half my games, But I think the less greedy version would probably have better results.